Hello and welcome to the Miles to Margin channel. My name is Mike. Today I want to talk through the reality of lease purchase programs and let's answer the ultimate question. Is a lease purchase program right for you? I have a feeling a lot of you have asked yourself that question in a lease purchase program, and I might be getting to some of you that are currently in a lease purchase program and not sure what to do. And so let me just give you some thoughts today on what I think about the lease purchase program model for drivers wanting to become an owner operator and whether it's something you should consider or not. You're going to hear a lot of conversation from me today that sounds negative towards lease purchase programs. I think there are better ways to get started as an owner operator, but I also know there are many of you out there that are likely never going to be in the position to be able to do that, and this feels like your only chance. And I get that. And I'm not telling you no, but I am going to tell you to be careful and listen to some of the things that we talk about in this video today, because it's all about having the right mindset and the right understanding of what you're getting into. And then also, what is your exit strategy coming out of that? I think there are better ways, as I mentioned, to get into the owner operator world. Number one being getting your credit score into a healthy position, being able to save up enough for a down payment, and trying to find a good quality used truck that has been maintained well, that has some level of warranty left, and at an interest rate and terms that allow you to have a lot more opportunity to maximize your pay as you go forward. That is obviously the ideal scenario, but as I mentioned, there are many of you that may not get to that point. And so the challenge today is for me to tell you that I think you need to try to get to that point, and you need to build the behaviors of what it looks like to try to get to that point. But as mentioned, let's focus more of our energy on the lease purchase program. The first thing I'm going to say that you're probably not going to like is you need to take the word purchase out of it. You need to think of it as a lease program. And here's what I mean by that. When you go into a lease purchase program with no money down, no credit check, no real skin in the game, there is a lot of risk for those leasing companies to give you a truck that way because it's not a traditional financing scenario. And so in those cases, you're going to be paying for that risk in the form of a high truck payment, and you're going to have high fixed costs on that truck every week. And when you do the math on how much you would actually pay for that truck if you were to execute that lease all the way through its term, you're going to find that it's sometimes 2 to 3x what the actual value of that truck is. And so let me just say it's expensive. Now, it's doable, and if you enter a lease purchase program and you come in on day one with a mindset of knowing what your costs are, how you're going to try to make sure that you keep your costs down as much as possible, and you've committed to yourself that you're going to take freight that is available. I'm not going to tell you to never refuse loads, but more times than not, I'm going to tell you you need to take what's available and you need to focus on getting your gross revenue that you generate every week as high as you possibly can. And the really important thing is as consistently as you possibly can. And so when you enter a lease purchase program, my opinion is you need to be prepared to run for 4 or 5, 6 weeks straight, a lot of activity, not turning down a lot of freight, maximizing your hours, busting your tail off, basically. And if you do that, you can actually build yourself a safety cushion in those first few months. Now, here's the downside to that scenario. You can still go in with the right attitude to do all of those things that I just mentioned, and you could have a big, unforeseen, early on mechanical issue and a significant repair bill that can completely destroy your momentum early on, and you'll be working weeks in a row potentially with zero take home pay. And so you've got to understand if you're prepared to stomach that and fight through it, because you can do everything right and the truck can fail you and you can get behind, and those fixed costs that don't go away when you're not running can bury somebody early on even when they're doing everything right. And so if you're entering a lease purchase program, one, you've got to understand your costs. You've got to have the right behavior and mindset going in, and you've got to have luck on your side that you don't have a significant repair in those first few months. Because if you do, it can cancel out those first two things. Again, that goes back to having some kind of safety net going into it. And so maybe you can't get your credit fixed in the amount of time that you decide you want to be an owner operator, but you can save up some money. And if you can't, again, I would tell you you're not ready for a lease purchase program. And if you can, and you still have to enter in one of these programs that are more expensive and isn't ideal, but if you have three to $5,000 saved up and you have the right mindset, now you're taking away the risk of that first big mechanical issue because you've created a cushion for yourself going into it. And again, you have the right mindset. You take out needing luck in the equation if you can come into the table with a couple $1,000s saved up. And then let me also tell you, back to my statement earlier, take out the purchase and lease purchase. In a lease purchase program, you need to view that truck as a tool to make money. You get out ahead early and you work hard and you save money. You leverage the ability to bring home higher net take home pay every week because you're running hard and you're making a lot of money. You're not maximizing your business yet because your truck is way too expensive. And so you might need to think about the lease purchase program as a way to go make more money, almost like the mindset of a company driver, but to maximize your net take home pay, save up money, repair your credit score, exit that lease on good terms, and go buy a quality used truck with really good terms that you can then take all of that experience you've gained in learning how to be an owner operator and do this the right way. There is a scenario where you could fully pay off a truck through a lease and keep it at the end of it, and it makes sense. I would tell you that happens so few a times. I could count those on one hand in my 20 years of experience. And so go into it with the mindset of that truck is a tool to make money. Don't overly invest in doing things to it. Use it, leverage it, save up money, repair your credit score, think about how you want to go into that next phase of being an owner operator. Thanks for listening today. Hope you found this content helpful. Please like, follow, ask questions, give me suggestions. Have a safe day.